My son watched the strange cartoon. Suddenly, I'm about to jump off a building. I was so scared that I quickly grabbed him and asked him what was going on. The son told me that the blind bear was downstairs. Tell him there's a honey waterfall downstairs. Tell him to jump down and see. I looked down from the window. There's actually a black bear downstairs with a chainsaw. It's giving me a weird smile. I hugged my son tightly and asked him who was blind bear. But my son didn't answer my question at all. Just keep struggling in my arms, still mumbling about going to see Honey Falls. So I looked downstairs again, but the black bear has disappeared. Did he just have a hallucination? Black bear with a chainsaw. It's impossible to think about it. In the midst of the chaos, I decided to call the property first. After all, the community. If a black bear does come on, it's really dangerous. The property phone will be connected soon. It's Lao Jiang who works the night shift. Why is there a black bear in the community holding a chainsaw? Lao Jiang, don't go out for now. Please notify the other owners ASAP. Black bear again? The seventh one? What seventh? Hurry up and inform everyone. It's okay. It's okay. I'll let you know. Lao Jiang. Talking to myself makes me feel baffled. After hanging up the property, I started to reassure my terrified soul and try to ask for a little information, baby. You tell Dad who the blind bear is. Why did he tell you this information? The bear is the one who lives in the TV. The son tilted his head to breathe. Spray on my wrist. It smells of fermented honey. But why can't Dad see the bear blind? Only the children who received the invitation letter to see the blind bear. Suddenly his son's little finger jerked nervously. Mechanical picture book pointing to the bedside forest guard station. Then the son started to hug his head and scream. It was as if he saw something extremely terrifying. I quickly ran over and picked up the picture book and opened it. I found a picture book next to a squirrel, written with a strange string of numbers CT-097 and the portrait of blind bear on the inner page of the picture book. It was actually altered to look like a gas mask. Blank space. It says crook that we are all good children. After calming my son to sleep, remember this weird thing and the hesitant attitude of the property owner. I'm pretty sure the property knows something. But just as I was about to call the property a guy, the originally calm community group exploded in an instant. Avers, did you just hear that weird chainsaw noise? Our little friend just told us. Downstairs I heard the sound of a chainsaw chopping wood, and then he started talking nonsense. Say bald uncle hidden explosive pine cones in his closet. He also said that he would run to find Jong blind. Only a blind bear can deal with a bald uncle. So is Nan Nan in our family. Said there was a black bear downstairs cutting down trees. But we watched it several times and there was nothing. Don't be surprised at night. Why didn't I hear anything? Ouch, what's the matter? Let's chat with the property manager. I really don't let people sleep at night. Don't get excited. Someone did just say they heard a chainsaw. The property has been inspected. I looked at what was happening in the group. I don't know if I should chime in, but the behavior of my son just now, it really startled me. Simply add 404 WeChat directly. Hi, did you hear the chainsaw too? Yes, did you hear that too? We heard a chainsaw. What did my little friend say about the bear blind? Tell him there's a sharp waterfall. It wasn't particles. What the hell is going on? Don't worry. Could it be a popular meme among children recently? I found my so. Is the bear blind you recently? A popular secret among children. The bear asked us to keep the secret of seeing him. Was blind bear the black bear with the chainsaw? Blind bear is a gentle bear. He only has honey. Dad, can you see the bear blind too? Can Dad go to the forest house too? Children's thinking is more confused. I can't ask for useful information. It can only be sent to the child's kindergarten teacher. One message. Teacher, is there anything unusual about my children recently? I see that the interface shows that the input is in progress. The teacher replied after a few minutes. Nothing unusual? What's wrong? I thought about it. Tell the teacher the situation one by one. The teacher replied quickly. I'll keep an eye on him. Don't worry. The next morning, the teacher came to pick up my so. Our community has an internal kindergarten, so the teacher came to pick it up. Children will make it much more convenient for parents. The teacher looked at me seriously. Mr. Jan, do. I'll help keep an eye on it. But at home, you need to pay attention at all times. And I nod, and then I think of something. Are 404 children also in our kindergarten? Yes, Junju. Also a boy. I told the teacher about my chat with 404 yesterday. The teacher frowned and decided to ask. What I didn't expect was, the teacher just left with my so. News came from the owner's group. The property manager has checked it yesterday. Park safety. There's no danger. What did you mean by 7 yesterday? A total of 7 people reported this incident yesterday. At first I thought it was a joke. Can you tell me who reported it? I want to talk to them. Excuse me? We cannot disclose owner information. I said no more. It seems that we can only find these parents ourselves. While I was wondering, suddenly, the harsh sound of the chainsaw sounded again. I looked out the window. That creepy black bear, he actually followed behind the kindergarten team. What's going on here? I called the teacher immediately. I think I saw a bear blind right behind you. The teacher immediately turned back. The voice is blank, and there is nothing. Daddy doo-doo, did you read it wrong? At this moment, a strange picture happened to form. The teacher looks back blankly. and I looked down at the team, and the black bear looks back at me weirdly. I didn't dare to say more and hung up immediately. But when I got dressed and rushed to kindergarten, no sign of a black bear was found. At that moment, I felt more and more that something was wrong. Something is really wrong. He looked excited when Dudu came back at night. He jumps his feet. Today, Uncle Bald was blinded by us and the bear. The child was driven away together. Who else do we have but you? Dudu suddenly shut his mouth. It feels like I said the wrong thing. Dudu is not a good boy to lie. You have to tell Dad. Who did you chase away the bald uncle with? Dad, I told you. The bear won't take me to the forest cabbie. No matter what I ask, Dudu stopped talking and told me about today. I can only call the teacher. The teacher told me they just have normal class today playing games. No problem found. So I thought about it. I hope the teacher can send me the surveillance video. The teacher said it needs to be reported. I click on the video. It looks normal in the video. The teacher takes the children to play games after the class. But halfway through, I see Beans, Doe and a few other children formed a circle. They just happened to be standing in a circle. Place a child in the middle. There were a few of them standing around. Because it's a video, I can't see their expressions. The little kid in the middle keeps banging on the ground. Is this some new game I was just about to skip? Suddenly I thought of the words of the property manager Lao Jan. I carefully counted 7 children. Could these 7 children be the 7 families that reported the black bear? I continue to watch the video. After the kid in the middle is done beating, they just left. Several people waved in an inexplicable direction. I paused the video, continuously magnify a black spot in the distance. The next second I just feel a chill on my back. It's the black bear, the weird black bear with the chainsaw. I immediately called the teacher. Teacher Dudu, what game did you play with a few children today? I'm sorry, Daddy Dudu. There are too many children. I didn't notice it. What happened? They encountered a black bear. What the hell is going on with Daddy Dudu? Why do black bears appear in our kindergarten? At 2:18 p.m., a black bear appears in the upper right corner of the video. Dudu Daddy, are you too nervous? The black dots on the screen can't be seen at all. I click on the video again. Just this time, it's all gone. That black spot really can't see anything. Like the shadow left by flying insects passing through the camera. I don't know what to say. Just hang up the phone. Then I found Dudu. You tell Dad. What game did you play with your children today? We didn't play games. It was the bad bald uncle who ran I. We beat him away. Do you remember what Uncle Bald looked like? I can't see what the bald uncle said. But the blind bear said, let's form a circle and trap the bald uncle. But Junjun saw it. He beat the bald uncle away inside. Where did you talk to blind bear? It's in the kindergarten. I reopened the video. The black spot on the video is always there. What is it? Dudu also saw the video at this time. He suddenly pointed to a blank spot on the screen. Dad, this is blind bear. That there's nothing there. And if the black spot is not blind, what the hell is that? At this moment, the whole room suddenly. It had a strange honey smell. Dudu suddenly whispered a few words into the air. Seems to be talking to something. I quickly grabbed Dudu. Ask who Dudu is talking to. Dudu doesn't speak. Eyes keep dodging. And then I heard footsteps. Something seems to have escaped from the room. I looked around and found nothing. Suddenly the sound of the chainsaw roaring. It's coming from downstairs again. And I looked down from upstairs. Again, there's the bear with the chainsaw. I quickly pulled Dudu downstairs. Is it blind bear? Why is he holding a chainsaw? Dudu's face was full of horror. That was Uncle Bald. Dad Roo. He's going to kill you. After listening to Dudu's words, I immediately called Brother 404. Are you still looking after the children yourself recently? I think something big will happen. After 404, and I agreed to go to the kindergarten tomorrow to have a look. During the day, the teacher picked up Dudu and Junju. The 2 of us followed behind the group of children. But I turned around. We never saw the bear with the chainsaw. What has your child said recently? I listened to him. He said he was making friends with Blind Bear recently. The Blind Bear tells him that the bald uncle is a bad guy. That's what my son said. He said bald uncle would kill me with a chainsaw. The bear your son saw was also blind. Skinny brown bear with honey. So I thought about it. Confirm. Dudu never mentioned to me what Blind Bear looked like. It seems that Junjun's situation is the same as I guessed. It's worse than Dudu. Some wait until the children take a nap. 404, and I found a teacher. Teacher except Dudu and Junju. There should be 5 more children. Pretty much the same. Can you give me the list? And Tong Tong, Cheng Cheng, Milk Beans, and Xiao. There are 4 children in total. I'm stunned. Then open the video from last night. Repeatedly confirm. There are 5 shadows on it. Only the 5th shadow is blurry. The teacher can't tell which child it is. Pay attention to safety considerations. The teacher asked a few children to come out. He asked the children. There was another one yesterday. Who were the kids playing with you? A few children said in unison. It's just us. Lying shouldn't be so neat. Suddenly Dudu spoke. Dad, are you talking about the bear blind? We played with Blind Bear yesterday. The other kids were right too. We played with Blind Bear. The blind man gave us honey to eat. I looked at the teacher and 404. They all looked at each other. I have no idea what's going on, but we asked a few children to describe. When the bear blind looks, they don't talk. I saw the smallest milk bean almost crying. We can only let the children play by themselves. That night, 404 called me to tell me that Junzin is dead. It turns out that Jinjin came home at night. Suddenly Blind Bear is going to pick him up to the forest hut. Then he kept coughing. In the end, he was choked to death. The doctor found during the examination that Junjin ate a lot of honey. Finally, he was choked to death by honey. But the problem is 404 doesn't have honey at home. He also asked the teacher. The school did not distribute honey to the children either. 404 is shaking. I suspect the murderer may not be Huma. At that moment, my scalp went numb. The next day kindergarten. The teacher immediately summoned all the parents, collected together before he died. I keep saying that I have been playing with Blind Bear recently and said that the Blind Bear was going to take him to the forest hut. Zhong Blind asked Junjun to engrave on his body the hexagram pattern. When the last payment, he told Junjun that he passed the test. By the way, in the middle, also completed the task of beating a bald uncle. The parents of several other children also said. My own child said something similar. But there are some differences. For example, Xiaodong's parents said he saw a bear fool. Blind people are almost the same. Down in the book, I found that the children's mouths are different. Junju, Dudu and Tongtong saw both bear blind. Milk Bean Xiaodong. All Cheng Cheng saw were bear fools. A child who can see a blind bear cannot see a fool bear. Other children are just the opposite. But they've all seen Uncle Bald. They say the bald uncle has a chainsaw to kill their parents. Cheng Cheng's mother told us. Cheng Cheng told me. This bear fool is protecting us. The bald uncle will kill us. My Dudu also said something similar. We saw a black bear outside with a chainsaw. It should be the bald uncle. Tongtong's parents suddenly went soft, sitting on the ground and looking at us. I was the first to know. At that time, Tongtong told me, Uncle Tongtong is coming to cut down trees. Adults are trees. I didn't believe the child at all. I thought it was a joke. Later, when I saw the black bear, I didn't care about Tongtong's words either. Could these children have been deceived? Because it protects us. Tongtong has now drawn the rogue star. We all gasped for air. If you finish drawing the hexagram, it means the child is going to die. That Tongtong mother stood up immediately, running frantically home. We all went home separately. See what's going on with your child. When I got home, I saw Dudu painting. He's on bright red paper, draws a giant hexagram. It's 6 kids laughing with chainsaws. Inside the hexagram is a branch, broken figures. 2 bears are dancing outside the rogue star. This is them helping blind bears. Did the bear fool kill the bald uncle? Is it really the same as what Cheng Cheng's mother said? I asked Dudu, why did you do this? Dudu smiled eerily. Dad, I was protecting you. The next day, kindergarten was closed. The teacher sent a message in our community. The police will come to find out later. Please cooperate. I have some doubts. Did something happen to Tongtong? At 8 o'clock in the morning, Officer Wang, who was in charge of the matter, joined the group chat. Tongtong's parents died last night. I want to know something. So we kind of froze. What the hell is going on here? Yesterday, Tongtong's parents were fine. Officer Wang told the scene when Tongtong's mother fell out of the window, choked to death by choking on a clothesline outside. Why did Tongtong's mother go to the window? We told the king what had happened these days. Police officer. Officer Wang is also confused. He has never encountered such a bizarre case. The morning chat was over. In the afternoon, Officer Wang sent a photo in the group. That's Tongtong's painting. This time it's a dark base color. A blood-colored hexagram in the middle. 6 children stand around. And in the middle is a woman who was hanged. This painting shows Tongtong's mother. And behind the painting, write yourself in red crayon. Since you don't want me, why don't you let me go to the forest hut? It looks like this is a child's note. But after the police asked, but found, Tongtong has no memory of these contents. When did the painting appear? Tongtong doesn't know either. A child. It's impossible to lie about this kind of thing. So this painting that appeared out of nowhere. It's scary. What the hell is going on here? Out of movies.